3.7 will be very quick. Um, Exceptions are basically just errors in our code, and we've already been handling them. We've been bug checking all along, so let's just formalize that bug checking. Programs have bugs, and remember what I said. First bug was actually a computer bug. So what error will we have here? If you divide by 0, you're going to return an impossibility. It's going to be a math error. Also, we try to do math, and it says public string, so we're returning a string instead of returning a number. So, two bugs there. Let's fix them. This is a compile time error. It notices it when it's compiling rather than like when it's running. Bugs that happen when they're running are runtime errors, compile time errors. They're in the text of the code. There's some bug that the compiler can recognize before it even has to run. So in that case, it says you're returning a number here, but you've said you're returning a string, so you've messed up. Compile time errors, missing syntax, wrong types, so on and so forth. We also have the math error. So now we've returned it. It'll work if you do like 5 divided by 2 or whatever, but if you do anything divided by 0, you get a runtime error and it'll crash. We can not notice that bug at all for years and years, because maybe that glitch won't ever happen and nothing needs to be fixed. They're formalized as exceptions. We could do a try, throw, catch block, but don't worry too much about that. If you just make an if-then statement to handle it, you're good for now. Common exceptions: division by 0, index out of bounds. You can't do -1. You can't go past the length of the indices. Maybe you've passed too little arguments or too many, or the wrong type. This is the what actually is. This is like the character method where you check a number and get the character back, or the name. Don't worry about these for now. We'll get to them later on. This is just if you're using an array, another data type. It has an index, so you could be out of bounds on that. Okay, we're not going to go through too many examples. This one is no semicolon, so it won't compile. This is what? Index out of bounds, because the index is too high. Okay. This is the error that we saw in the slides. They also put some extra print lines to like kind of check. Okay, does it crash after those two? No. Well, does it crash over here? If this one doesn't print, then that means yes. And sure enough, we print out the first 3 lines, then we get a runtime error because we're dividing by 0. It says arithmetic exception. It says arithmetic exception in a lot of places. Here it is. It says arithmetic exception in a lot of places because the class is named arithmetic exception advanced example. Next up, index out of bounds. I think this is pretty obvious. Hello has 5 characters. If you go 0, you can only go 0 to 4. If you go below that, or if you go above that, you'll get an error. And again, they do checking statements. Haven't crashed yet. Ooh, check -1. Bad. I don't really want to do this example, so I'll just point out where the bugs are. Let's pause it. I'll write it down, and you can figure it out from there. So the bugs seem to be on line 8, 16, 17, 23, and 25. Perhaps I've missed 1 or 2, but you don't really need to make too many changes. This is really up to you to kind of figure out if you've learned enough to start bug checking your own code. These aren't very hard bugs to find. I think some of them are obvious as we're scrolling through. So do your best on this one.